Say what? Another Harry Potter video? My most popular video right now are the Harry Potter ones. So dang straight if another Harry Potter video, you potheads. This week's tutorial really is for you potheads. Because in addition of this being a Harry Potter video, there are two other Harry Potter videos. As I mentioned, this week's tutorial is another collaboration with two awesome YouTubers. So once you're done watching this video, why don't you check out xoxRufus' tutorial and KatrinKawaii's tutorial. And while you're there, why not subscribe to all three of us if you haven't already done so? Do it. Here's what you'll need for this project. Brown, and the two house colors of your choice. For this tutorial, I'm going to make Slytherin, so I have silver and green. Paper towel, rounded and pointy tools, your blade, brown paint and a paintbrush, gloss, and a little bowl of water, and a bar pin. If you want to make this into a charm, you can use an eye pin. The first thing you're going to do is take your brown clay and shape it in the shape of a Hershey's Kiss. If you don't know what a Hershey's Kiss is, you poor soul. So you're going to shape it kind of like a cone, so it's going to look like a triangle, like this here, and the top is just going to be a little longer. There you go. What we're going to do now is we're going to create the eyes right in the middle of this little Hershey thing. So you're just going to take your two thumbs and push in. Like this. So now you have a small dent for the eyes. Take your rounded tool and you're going to keep making this crevice larger on both sides until you have a crevice that looks like this here. Now once you have this, take your pointy tool and push on top of each eye to make it kind of a brow line on each side. So you're going to push down, make it look like it's frowning, like this, and the same thing on the other side. There you go. Now once you have your two lines, don't be shy, just take your pointy tool and make it into a deeper crevice, and the same thing on the other side. Like so. So it kind of looks like this. Don't worry if the eye is closing off. We're going to fix all that once we have all the crevices in here. Now take your pointy tool again and make another crevice on top here. And now we're going to make the mouth. So far it should look something like this. And make a straight line right in the middle. So just keep going back and forth until you have a line like this. And make it frown. Now make this crevice a little deeper. Now once we have this piece here, what we're going to do is bend in all the crevices so that they look like it's cloth and just bending in. So just push it down. First crevice, push down again, like so. And now take your rounded tool and make the eyes bigger. Like so. So far so good. Now what you're going to do again is take your pointy tool and just make a few cuts here so that it still looks like cloth. And just push in. Now we need to make the mouth still a little larger because this is still too closed. Rounded tool. And there you go. Now I know it looks like an angry turd, but that's pretty much what the sorting hat looks like. So now that this part is done, we're just going to make the bottom part of the hat. Take your brown clay again, roll it into a ball, and then flatten it out. So it should kind of look like a circle, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Take your angry face and place it on top. Make sure that you give yourself enough space in the front, and then just push down lightly. Take your cutter, remove all the excess piece in the back. Voila! Now remember, this is a really old beat up hat, so it doesn't need to be perfect. As long as you don't have fingerprints, it's going to still look good. So make sure that you smooth out any areas that have fingerprints. Now for the house colors and the part that you're going to write your house name, take each color and start making a square line out of it. So to do that, you're going to make a line like this, place it on your surface, and start flattening the top, maybe about 5 times each side. Turn it, So this will do. Now do the same thing with the other color. Once you have your two pieces more or less squared, take your cutter and cut them into rectangles. Now stick them together so that they look like this and cut them in half. In order to create the checkered effect, you're going to take one of your halves, turn it around, and place it on top. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep working on this piece until it becomes one full piece. So just keep squishing them together. Remember, you want to keep them as a square, so just keep working at it like this. Keep pulling. You can also take a roller or your rounded tool and just roll a few times in each direction. So let's say 3 times, turn it around 3 times until it becomes longer. Once you have the desired length, just cut off the ends that are distorted. And there you go, you have a checkered effect. The next thing you want to do is take your pointy tool and write your house name on this block. Make sure when you're writing this that your letters are deep enough, because we're going to be putting paint in there so that the crevices actually show a lot more. Now that we have our house name on there, you're going to place your sorting hat on top, but before we do that, we're going to make a strap. So take out your brown clay, flatten it out really thin, and make a long rectangle out of it. Here we go, we have 2 straps. Take each strap, put it on top of your block so that it turns around and looks like it's holding your house name. Voila! Now take your hat and place him right on top. Ta-da! Now what we're going to do is shape the front part of the hat so that it has a little bit of shape going on. So just start bending the shape as you would like it. There you go. Now bake this according to package instructions. If you're worried that the waves are going to come off when you're baking it, take a piece of foil paper and just put it under here so that the wave stays while it's baking, like so. And now you can bake it without having to worry. There we go, all baked. Now the only thing left to do are to put the paint in here and to glue the pin in the back. If you wanted to make this a charm, you should have put the eye pin in the back before baking it. Take your brown paint and your brush and just make sure that you get the paint inside the deep crevices. Make sure that you fill them out kind of like a paste and make sure that they go all the way in. And then with the paper towel, we're going to wipe off all the paint that's on top, but we're going to make sure that it stays inside. So it's the same method as antiquing, but this time we're just making the letters stand out a lot more. Take your paper towel and start wiping off all the paint that's on top. You're going to dip your paper towel in some water, that's why you needed a water bowl, and just start removing it. Ta-da! Make sure that you let this dry for about an hour, and then you're going to take your gloss and go over the whole thing, or if you want just the block, to make sure that the paint stays in there, but you have to make sure that this dries. Now since I made this earlier, I'm going to gloss this one first, and then the other one off camera. All glossy. Now when it comes to gluing the bar pin, the choice is entirely up to you. You can glue it down here or this way. I'm going to wait just a little bit to make a decision, but it's up to you guys to figure out which way you want to glue it. All done! Now I definitely prefer the sorting hat on the Gryffindor one. And this one here is a lot more simple to make, but it's definitely still a nice one. So the choice is up to you how detailed you want to make the sorting hat. So how detailed you want to make the sorting hat is definitely up to you. If you want to make him more grumpy looking, this face will do. If you want to make it more simple, this face will do. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and remember, check out xoxRufus's tutorial and KatrinKawaii's tutorial, and subscribe to all 3 of us. I'm going to leave a link to their videos and their channels in the description box, so make sure you click on that to expand it and see exactly where you need to click. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments section below. Until then, I will see you guys next week.